Good morning. Today is the 15th of November 2024 and I'm going to go through my watch list and plan for today. As always, before we start, let's look to see what news could move the market today. We had retail sales coming at 8:30 and we saw, what happened at 8:30? Bit of a decline, so it pushed down from that. And then we've got news coming in again at 9:15. So keep an eye on that if you're pre-market trading. And then I think that's about it for today. I thought we had some Fed speakers later. I'm sure I saw Fed speakers. Maybe not. Okay, so just keep an eye on 10 AM as well at business inventories. So 10 AM is the next place to watch when the market opens. So let's get started. Pick up my pen. So on my screen we're looking at the ES, and this is the 1 hour time frame, and it's the S&P 500 E-mini futures. We can see overnight we had a big push down, so the overnight crew pushed it further down with a bit of follow through from yesterday's down day as well, and we've gone through a level we've been watching for a bounce, and you can see we came into that level, what's that, 1 AM, so in the post-market or pre-market, and it came back and we retested it, so not much of a bounce there, but it's definitely a break and retest short area. So we'll keep an eye on that 59.50 for a potential rejection, and that's the pre-market high, but that's not my favourite rejection today. Let me just find out why my pen's not opening up. Epic pen. So there's a couple of good areas to watch. Not sure what's going on. Things are freezing. There we go. Okay, it looks like the pen doesn't want to play today. So there we go. Here it is. That's what I'm looking for. So the region I'm looking for is around this area here for a rejection, and I'll be watching from about 59.80 all the way up to 59.90. Even 6,000, as it's a psychological number as well. So there's a big wide area, big area of confidence. You can see we've got bottoms of these candles along here as well, tops of candles. We came back, retested it yesterday, and then we sold off from there. So area on watch today is definitely around this area here for rejection, and that's 59.80 to 59.90. That's my main area, but also keep an eye on 6,000. So that's the rejection. If we lose pre-market low, then I'm going to be looking for a break and retest of this level. Pull down, break and retest. If you remember, just scroll out a bit. We've been watching this area. We said yesterday if we lose this area here, we've got this potential void below because there's reduced volume, and we've got a bit more volume coming in today than we did yesterday because obviously overnight and yesterday's sell off. And that's exactly how it played out. We came into this void. We got this area confluence, not a great deal of volume to that price around 59.20. We came in, we held it for a bit, and then we lost it, and now we're coming back up to retest that area. So I do like the break and retest of pre-market high, but we are now in an hourly downtrend. As you can see, putting in lower lows and lower highs, especially here you can see lower highs being in play along there. Is that a lower high? Yeah, technically that is a lower high here as well. You see that? So we are we can say that's an hourly downtrend. So we've got to favour the break and retest of pre-market low, higher probability than the break and retest of pre-market high long. But I won't rule out that. I'll still watch that as well, because at some point we do need to break a trend. You could say the trend's breaking there, maybe, or we're just having a little bit of a pullback into that area of confluence before we make another leg down, but we don't know that until the market plays out. So I'll be watching pre-market low for the break and retest, pre-market high. Not sure I want to take that as a rejection. Potentially we could see a double top continue down, so we can watch that for a rejection and a break and retest long. And I think that's it. And then bounce wise, there's only one area I'm really watching for the bounce. As you can see from the chart, I've already labelled it up. We've got volume coming in around about that area as well. We've got these pivots as well. We retested this area a few times. You can see the retest especially over this area here, break and retest. So I'm going to be watching this 5900 to 5910. Is that 5910? That's the area I'll be watching. So within that area for a bounce. And now is a good time to put some alerts in. So I'm going to. Here's something of interest as well. Look at this bounce points here, pre-market low. Do you remember a couple of days ago I said I'm going to get rid of that level because it's probably not significant. Let's put it in. And then look where we bounced today. Not far off that level. And that's me saying it's not significant. But I'm not a big fan of that area only because there's not enough volume there. The volume is just slightly below. So I still prefer this region here. This was the original all-time high where it broke through and rejected. And it couldn't hold it. So I'm still watching this region here for a bounce. But it's funny how that pivot and that was our bounce point, 59.30. So we won't fall off that at all. Okay, so that's it really. So bounce 5900 area to 5910. Let's put my alert in as well. I'll put my alert in at 5920 area. If we get back up here, 5980. I do quite like. Do you know what did I say? 59. I always write a journal. In my journal, what did I say? I'll put it on the screen. I've not really completed it yet. I'll complete it in a minute. 5980 to 5980, 5980 to 5990 rejection. So this region here, I like rejection. Let's also watch 6000. I don't know if you journal or anyone journals, but I highly recommend it. Every day I go through my trades and I just see what. I like to look back and see what I'm mainly focused on the red days rather than the green days. 5900 bounce we just talked about. This level here, and then break and retest of pre-market high, pre-market low. So, and then I always do a screenshot. Might as well fill up my journal while I'm doing it. Good. I've already done that already. I put a screenshot in the market area. I put in what news we've got today as well. And normally I just see what the big news is, and then I just make a note of it. Any high impact. So today we had retail sales 8:30, and then maybe I'll take a note of any Fed speakers, and then I just write a little bit about what my plan is with the market. So if we see sell off, etc. That's pretty much it. I'll show you my notes from yesterday. So again, my watch list, all the news which I copy and paste from my new indicator I created, and then a little bit about what I'm watching for, and then what I'm doing, and that's it basically. That's how I journal, and I think it's important to journal. And yesterday was a okayish day, 4 trades, 2 winners, 2 losers. In fact, my first 2 winners were the first 2 of the day, and then I started over trading. Can you believe the 3rd and 4th trade were my over trades? And they're the ones where I didn't do that great on. In fact, they were losing trades, but not a lot. Kept my losses quite short. But anyway, that's ES. So let's move on to SPY. Just look at the comments. Charles, good morning, back to you as well. So SPY, we've got this void still. So again, I'm looking at the volume profile just here. You can see there's no volume in this area, and this goes back a couple of months. And so we're in this void. So if we can lose this pre-market low today on SPY, we've got nothing really to slow us down until we get back into this region. And that's the area we're watching on ES as well. So keep an eye on this. Also, we'll look at SPX in a second. So our bounce area is 585, 584 area. And if we lose the pre-market low, which I think we're getting down towards, yeah, break and retest. Let's keep an eye on break and retest a pre-market low. And that's basically the area we want to fill. And then rejection wise, let's sort of zoom in a bit. Rejection. Again, we can't ignore these pivots here. Bit of area confluence. A little bit of volumes coming in. And we've got a bit of volume coming in there. So it's an average volume. But we also came back held it twice, retested and broke down. So I do quite like 594.30 area for the rejection. Exactly where we are, and that's the bottom of that pivot. We could also play the. We've also got yesterday's low as well, so we could keep an eye on yesterday's low as a high risk rejection if we can see it do that. So 592.65. In fact, let's keep this range. So let's keep a bit like ES, so give it a bigger area, so it gives us more area to watch. So this range for rejection will come back up into this region. Let's watch it, and I'll wait for a 2-minute or 5-minute confirmation as well, just to make sure that I'm getting in on a red candle, not on a green candle if I'm going for the reversal. And then the bounce down here at 586 to 584, this region. Pretty straightforward. SPX. It's going to be a bit of a gap down today by the looks of it, so we should see a gap. So 5900 key area, so psychological number. This area here, so let's keep an eye on this. You can see we hiccuped a little bit, we got into that area, we came pulled back down, and then we broke out from it. We've yet to come back to retest that area, so let's keep an eye on that area for a bounce. And then if we're coming into that area for a bounce, then I'll be watching ES for potential bounce, and that could be potentially back down in this area we're watching as well. So if SPX is coming into that 5900 and we're coming up to 5920 where my alert is currently, then I'll be looking for a bounce. And again, with confirmation, I'll wait for it to come into the zone, put in a bottom, and then find an entry coming out of it. Either a break and retest off a previous pivot, a bit like that, or I'll try and get in if I see a new higher low. NQ, and just update comments. Good morning to Carlo as well. Hopefully you're well. NQ. Okay, NQ, I do quite like the bounce down here. Level we've been watching. Let's just zoom in a bit. So let's keep an eye on this area. And the reason I say that area, I'm torn. The reason I like that area near the bottom is because we've got a pivot here, we've got a break, a rejection, then we broke through it, came back, retested it, came back, retested it. So this is an area I'm watching, and also we've got volume coming in this area as well on the volume profile. So I think I do prefer 2600 or 2630 area for a bounce. We do have this other bounce area at 2745, this area as well. Not as much confidence, there's not much volume there as well. Let's just zoom out a bit, see if there's any other levels. There's no other levels there as well, so just be a bit wary. We'll keep it in place. I should be deleting a lot of these older levels because I'll leave them in place just in case we come back down to them. But this is my preferred area for a bounce on Nasdaq. And of course, if we're looking for that bounce and notice a lack of volume coming into that area, let's watch for the break and retest short into that area of pre-market low. We're pretty much near there now, so whatever, hopefully we see a little bit of a bounce right now and wait. I won't take the trade until the market opens. QQQ, oh, rejections as well. If we push up and we break over pre-market high, break and retest long, and then we've got this big region 2160 to 2100 psychological number as well. So let's just map that out a bit better. So this region here for the rejection, a little bit higher than that. So 2100, probably that area there up to that area there, and that is 2100 to 2160. That's the area I'm watching for rejection. And again, we're in a downtrend. Notice how we're putting in these lower highs, lower lows. I know that's kind of broken the exception there, and you could even say this is a head and shoulders pattern as well, and a break and retest. But what we've been looking at has been curving over, and you can see that with the moving averages as well. The 50's been curving over as well with it. But what I really liked on this pattern here is I like these top patterns. We've got massive amounts of volume. You can see that area of confluence, bottoms of pivots, tops of pivots over here. Look, putting in lower highs as well, and then we broke that. We could call it the neckline area. We came back up and retested, and that would have been a great entry there for it to push down yesterday. I missed that. I think I got it on. I took something similar on ES. CL. Oh, I am expecting someone to come to my door in a few seconds, so I might have to rush off. This is crude oil. 1 second. Yeah, give me 2 secs. I will be right back. my apologies for that. I also run a IT company, computer repairs. That's my part-time job. It used to be my full-time job before I was trading. And a customer came to collect, and obviously he wants to pay me as well. So I'm not going to turn money down on my doorstep. So we were up to CL. So here we are. This is crude oil. I do like this pattern. We talked about this yesterday. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Didn't quite play out how I wanted. I didn't take it yesterday. I was really looking for the break and then the retest there to watch it up, but we're looking pretty sideways. We could consider this now a curving round pattern. So I think the break and retest of pre-market high is still a good play to watch. And if we lose pre-market low, I know we've got that pivot there, but we could find a 2-minute entry, break and retest short down to 67. I'll be very quick. I know we've got a few minutes left. Now this looks like a nice downtrend. This is gold, which was doing really well. Notice, this is one thing to notice. Notice how long it takes. A long time to climb up and just a few days to die. You know, they say up the stairs and down the elevator or out the window. Break and retest of both pre-market high and yesterday low. We're still in this. You can draw a line down here, this downtrend. Potentially we're breaking it now. If we can get over this pivot, this is yesterday's high, then we look for a break and retest. And also notice how we came into this trend line as well. I know we broke through the trend line. This trend line here, we can probably get rid of this one now. It's not valid. This is still valid though. I wouldn't say we held it. We can probably make an adjustment to that. We've got this pivot there. If I make an adjustment, I don't know about there. Yeah, so we've broken it but holding it. So let's see. Could be a fake breakdown. But if we get over this 52, 82 area, let's look for a break and retest long into this area here. And you see there's a bit of volume coming in there, so that's a good target. And then bounce wise, just watch for a bounce down at 55. This area here. Okay, so important controls there as well. So let's just mark that up. We've got a pivot over here, so watch for a double bottom for a bounce, and that's at 25, basically 25, 25. RTY. Okay, there's only one bounce we can see here, and that's here. The reason for that is two pivots. Volume starting to come in there as well, so a good area to watch for a bounce. 2300 psychological number, round number, so that's the only area to watch for a bounce. So let's put my alert in at 2310, and then a rejection. We can watch break and retest of pre-market low, and that is at 2330. And then at some point we may break this trend. You can see it's quite a strong downtrend. Hard really to find a break and retest long. We could watch pre-market low into this area, and yesterday's high is our rejection point. So this region here we can watch for a rejection, and that is around 2370 to 2377, all the way up to 2380. And look at this for a perfect break and retest. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, break the neckline, come back up, retest it. And now you know exactly why I love these patterns. Look at that, perfect in every way. Probably on volume, go in there, check the volume as well, increase volume potentially on the pullback there. And then it sold off. So I should maybe start looking at these type of plays for swings as well. You see it on the hourly, I see it on the 5 and 2 minute, but I'd rarely take it on the hourly. But you know, it's good to be aware of this if you're looking for a short on the day. When was this? A couple of days ago, and then you can use that as a guide. That it might be breaking a higher time frame head and shoulders pattern. YM, I took a nice trade on this yesterday. It was a head and shoulders pattern on the 5 minute chart, break and retest from memory. You can see here we've got our lopsided neckline, and my entry was actually just there, so it broke it, came back in, retested, and even though I took profit at the low, look at how it ran all day. So another good entry and another bread and butter head and shoulders pattern. Today let's keep an eye on rejections around this region here, and that would be a break and retest again. So we've broken that neckline down, come back up into this region, and that area is around 43.80 to 43.900, that area there for the rejection. And then bounce wise, could say pre-market low, it's close enough to this pivot, but we've got a lot of volume just coming in as well at that 43.560 area, and we've got pivots there. We hesitated, we broke down, held it, pushed up, retested it, and we've not really retested it. Pre-market was close, but that's lower volume. So just keep an eye on 43.560 down to 43.530 for the bounce. I'm just going to put my alert up here as well so I can get it, and I'll put one down here as well. See, I like putting alerts in because now I don't need to be watching charts. I can go off and run my IT business if I wanted to, or check emails, or I like to code indicators. So code a few indicators, and then I don't need to keep watching the charts until one of my alerts triggered. So now we're looking at Bitcoin, hit the 93,000, almost 94 there, but over 90 at the moment, or we're just under 90,000 at the moment. We've got this trend line. You can see, you could say it's a kind of head and shoulders pattern. I like to see a single male, not two there. Could call that the head. Could call that the formation of a right shoulder, potentially. We've had really overbought at the moment as well. So a pullback is a healthy pullback, is what we need. And let's go back onto the daily, because I prefer the dailies. Look at that, we're really too far away from the moving averages, the 8, the 20, the 50 and the 200. You know, we really got to get back down to really the 50. So this is an area to watch for a bounce. We're looking very top heavy here. You see the volumes coming in over at this end as well, topping tails, red candle. So the red candle's on slightly less volume, so a bit suspect that. Green candles on higher volume. What's that green candle? So it's increased. Yeah, so maybe we're not quite done yet up there. Like I said, the red candle, expecting that to be a little bit more volume than what we had. That's average volume for a red candle. So maybe we still got more buyers up there, but not for me to buy around this area. I'll be looking to buy back down here again. So at the moment I'm just managing. I've got a third left of my position, and as soon as I come back down here I'll probably add back in again, and then just start adding in as we start building back up again. And that's it. I'll just look at the order flow. Order flow looks a bit funky right now, so let's just click over. So this is the UK, I've not looked at this today. Holding that level, look at that break and retest of that neckline area and that pivot over here to the left. Potentially the FTSE 100's got a break and retest on the cards. So let's go back to ES, quickly look at the order flow. So just recap the levels we're watching. Let's just quickly look at the daily as well. So notice increase in volume on red candles as well. That's a negative or a sign of weakness. We've got this bounce point to keep an eye on. So that's the area we put my alert in. So that's an area we're watching for a bounce today. Let's just flick over to the hourly and then we'll look at the order flow. And it's quite interesting seeing the order flow right now, especially with the markets just opened. So pre-market low 59.30, we're watching that area for the break and retest. We're not near there yet, but look at this. Market's been gradually selling off, and then order flow's just died. I mean the cumulative delta's just died. It's not going against the grain. They're both putting in but it's not really in proportion to each other. So for example, this one's been selling off gradually. This one, if you draw the same one, was holding, and then it just died at the end. So there's a lot of sellers coming in, buyers are holding it up right now. Potential bounce, potential reversal candle there, but there's no exhaustion, no signs of it. A little bit there, 12 buyers, but then later on 82 buyers came in, so that's not very good. 13 there when we had 44 previously. Yeah, not much to look at the moment. We've got all green doubters though, which is interesting. Green, green, green. Okay, got a red one here, so that's an anomaly on its own. Green candle with a red doubter. And then point of controls, there's nothing really. There's nothing aligned with each other. Maybe around here is a potential area. 59, 48, 59, 50. You can see it on the 5 minute as well. That's aligned, and we're right at that area now. So are we going to reject it, or are we going to hold it, or are we going to break through? So 51, 41. So that's what I'm looking for in order flow. If I'm looking for a reversal, so back there now, it looks like we're negative deltas as well. Look at these. Look how negative these deltas are. Even I normally ignore the current bar until it's completed. 15 seconds. But notice how these have been holding for now. And that's how I use my stops. I utilise stop losses based on if I see some aligned 2 or more, then I know that's a solid area. That's where sellers were previously. And potentially, if I'm short, I would have put my stop loss just slightly above that, rather than say above a previous candle. Okay, that's it really. We're coming into the pre-market low now. In fact, my order flow is a bit delayed. Yeah. No, it looks okay. Just me. So we're coming into the pre-market low area. So this is a potential bounce, higher risk, or break and retest short with the general trend. Yeah, I think that order flow is a bit delayed. So it's maybe because I've got the 2 streams running. So I may just quickly reset this. Right, that's me done. Trade safe, and I will be on the other stream, on the live, on the order flow stream. Okay, thank you for watching. Short day for me. My kids we're going skiing later with the scouts on a dry slope, so I'll be leaving earlier. So I probably won't even trade, but I will keep an eye on the market for the next hour. I will get my daughter from school in the next half an hour as well, because my wife's away. So busy few hours, so I'll probably best not trading. But hopefully will be got some good levels today. Okay, thank you for watching.